Think you're standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really noticed.
Welcome to Dear Dana. It is Saturday night.
Never feel calm.
We have a lot to talk about. Gonna react to a few things. Come on in the channel. Shake off all those Thanksgiving blues. Or Thanksgiving happiness. Let's move on. It's time to shuffle out of November and into December. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in to Dear Dana.
I got issues in my head. I like you in my bed, but you keep me.
How are you all doing?
Everything
Come on
is
in.
like a test.
And I'm going to cut the music off. I love it too. Don't want to play too much of it. How are you all doing? Welcome to Dear Dana. Tonight we're going to react. There's a few things going on in the world. We're going to talk about Irene Cara Freddie Prinze Jr. comes back, and Todd and Julie Chrisley. Yep. A few things going on. Some of you might not know who Irene Cara is. She created some of the fabric of the music of our lives. She did. She was one of the first people of color to set down the music that we began to watch and people got to see on television and in the movies. She created hope. She created anthems. She created music that you would hear, and she won many awards. She created a song, What a Feeling, da 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 da. And she created music for Flashdance. I don't know how many of you watched Flashdance or have watched it since. But she is an icon of the 80s. She has been on Broadway. She has created music. She's been on television and movies. And found out that she recently transitioned at the age of 63. She has created more music since then and had music and other things in the workings as of up until now. She sure did. So if you don't know her, you need to know her now. She has created songs such as Out Here on My Own, which was such a beautiful song. You Were Made for Me. Love Survives, From All Dogs Go to Heaven. What a Feeling. Fame. Why Me? I Sing the Body Electric, Out Here on My Own Again. Flashdance. What a Feeling. So many more. As I've said, she's been on television since then and in movies. She is definitely an icon, and she's won Grammys and different other awards. There are people that she has created some of the fabric of their lives. Hey, Shelly Marie. And it's a blow to hear that she has transitioned. That she's transitioned over. And she has probably created some of the songs of other people's lives. There are many stars putting their feelings out there now after hearing about the loss. It's just when people hear about stars and singers that they are close to in this time period, that their music was part of the essence of the history of their lives, she is one of those. And a lot of people wouldn't have come out in the history if it was not for her. And that's probably the truth. She was born Irene Cara Escalera, and she helped set the stage for a lot of people of vast colors to feel like they had a chance to move forward in the industry. When the show Fame came on television, she was one of the stars of the show Fame on television. They created a part for her, and it was popular back in the 80s. You could probably look it up on YouTube. And people that didn't know of her will fall in love with her now. So, those that don't know her, those that are too young, maybe Generation Z, will look her up now and will be like, whoa, how did I miss that name? And will fall in love with her now. And she will gain popularity now that she's unfortunately transitioned. So if you didn't know her before, I beg of you to know of her now. She will gain a whole new popularity. How many of you, well, there's only one in the chat right now, have seen Flashdance? How many have seen Flashdance? You know, it makes me want to play the songs, which I can't because I'll get struck. I'll get struck for sure. She was born in 1959 in Bronx, New York. She was living in Miami, Florida at the time, married to Conrad Palmisano until 1991. Parents Gaspar Cara, Luis Cara. She won an Academy Award for Best Music Original Song. She won a Golden Globe, an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Act, People's Choice Awards, 2 Grammys for Best Female Pop Vocals, Best Score and Soundtrack, and an Academy Award for Best Music, all for Flashdance. So please, if you don't know Irene Cara, take the time to look her up. She is worth knowing about. Definitely worth knowing about. Now, I move on to the question, who knows who Freddie Prinze Jr. is? All of you should know who he is. He went off the radar for a while. Freddie Prinze Jr., you know he was in Scooby-Doo. He was an actor, still is an actor, married to Sarah Michelle Gellar. They do have a couple of kids. They do. I believe they have at least a couple of kids. He went off the radar for a while because he wanted to be fully present for his kids. He was one of the young hotties that was in a lot of movies for a while. And then when he and Sarah married, I mean, he's done some cookbooks too. He does a good job cooking. He wanted to be fully present for his kids. Up until recently, he came back on the radar and he has done a Christmas movie. Now, I caught this Christmas movie and it's called Christmas with You. He starred in it with Amy Garcia, that was in the show, darn it, Dana. What was the show? I was addicted to the show where it wasn't called Satan. What was it called? Where, it had the devil in the show. Okay. Hey, Arseny Pesikoff. Lucifer. It was a show, Lucifer, that was in Netflix. Amy Garcia played the girl in the lab that was kind of, she wasn't stupid, she was kind of naive. Okay? She was on that show. But Amy Garcia plays a singer in Christmas with You that's been on top of the world, but her career has hit a lag, and there's young up and comers that are, you know, more popular in the field in artistry making records, and they're telling Amy Garcia, you've got to come up with a Christmas song if you want to get back on top. You've got to write a Christmas song, because she thought that, you know, she'd already made her place in music, she didn't have to worry about it. But she was getting writer's block, and she had seen a video about a girl that had lost her mom, that was singing the song, and her wish was to meet Amy Garcia's, this famous singer. Her wish was to meet her. So Amy Garcia thought it would be a great idea to meet her fan. So she makes a point to meet her fan, and in the meantime, she realizes that the fan's dad is a music teacher. So this is how it starts. I'm not going to give away all the parts, but let me say, I liked it. Again, it was charming. It wasn't boring. It had a storyline, and Freddie Prinze was good. Did I say Perez early? Sorry. Freddie Prinze Jr. was good. He has that leading man thing about him. And him being a little older, he's not old by any means, but him being a little older, men have this thing about when they get a little age on them, they're even more handsome typically. Hey, Shay B. They tend to be a little more handsome and charming and elegant. It played off well. It did. It played off well. And here's the kicker. Freddie Prinze came back because it is an all Latina cast. The directors and the producers and stuff, as far as I knew, were all Latina as well. So that hit him right in the heart. He's never had that opportunity to have a Latina cast, a Latina producers, a Latina executives, etc. So he took the opportunity to come back, particularly for that. It was a wonderful experience for him and Amy Garcia. And the warmth, and it shows the Latina family togetherness, etc. It was very well done. Very well done. I enjoyed it immensely. So if you get a chance to see Christmas with You, it's heartwarming. I would watch it. It was worth Freddie Prinze Jr. coming back. Christmas with You. Our own Norma MacDonald, that you usually see on Up and Adams, she was also in a film recently that was Latina based. I'm trying to remember the name of it. If someone remembers, please let me know. But it was worth watching also. We need more of that. But if you get an opportunity to see Christmas with You, I would watch it. And let me, like I said, he's married to, I've got brain glitch. You're going to have to help me. Look, if I don't seem on top of it tonight, let me tell you, there's things going on with medications in this world. 2 of my medications that I take for MS, I haven't been able to get lately. I'm having trouble. I'm on the struggle bus. Being able to get from my doctors and the drug producers. So I'm trying to give it my all tonight. I'm trying to give it my all tonight to you. Sarah Michelle Gellar, thank you. Shelley Marie. See, I said it earlier. But, he's married to Sarah Michelle Gellar. But here's the kicker. Back in the 70s, maybe early 80s, hey, Fanatic Connecting Guru, welcome, welcome, welcome. He's a very lovely man. He connects a lot of creators. He's a very lovely man. And if you get a chance, go check out his channel. Once upon a time, Freddie Prinze Jr. had a father existing on this earth named Freddie Prinze. At 19 years old, his big break was on Johnny Carson. Freddie Prinze Jr.'s father was named Freddie Prinze, half Hungarian, half Mexicano, I think. 19 years old, his big break was on Johnny Carson. And he just wiped the audience out with humor. Some of you may not have ever heard of him. Good looking guy, very funny comedian, 19 years old. It wasn't, he was on a lot of the circuits, a lot of the comedy circuits, and a few years later, he was on a show, Hey, One Choice at a Time with Michael. It has been a minute. I thought of your wife and you the other day. A few years later, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s dad, was on a show called Chico and the Man. Yeah, Chico and the Man. And it was really funny. But Freddie Prinze and his wife divorced not long after that because I think he had a drinking problem. And unfortunately, he unalived himself. 22 years old. 22 years old. This guy had everything. He was a great actor. He was an excellent comedian. He was good looking. He could sing. He had everything. Everything. I'll show you a picture of him in a minute. So Freddie Prinze Jr. did not get to grow up with his father. The man had everything. Let me see if I can show you a picture of him. I'm going to have to find it. I thought I pulled it up. Let me see. So he is remembered to this day by those, that knew about him. But he rose hard and fast. Yes, he did. He rose very hard and fast. Okay, now let me show you. If you can see it, this is Freddie Prinze Jr.'s dad, Freddie Prinze. I don't know if you can see it. Over to the right. If you go and read about him and even watch some of his videos, I would dare say go watch some of his videos. You will be amazed. I mean, now, he couldn't say some of the things now that he said then because it wouldn't be appropriate, of course. But the guy was funny. And look up shows called Chico and the Man. But, I mean, he pretty much comes from royalty, so to speak. In that short of time, his dad just, rose like a shooting star. Rose like a shooting star. How many here? I know Fanatic had to have. Did anybody else know about his dad? And hey, in the bushes. Did anyone else know about his dad? I'm guessing not. Okay, thank you, Shabby. Sweet Navidad is a movie our YouTube friend, was in. So also check that out because it is a movie that is run a lot by, as I said, by people of Hispanic background, and we need more of that. Puerto Rican, Hispanic background, and more about the essence and the families and the culture. We need more of that. And it needs to be more real and family based. I want to say Lifetime for Norman McDonald. I want to say it was Lifetime. So please check that one out as well. And Freddie Prinze Jr. is called Christmas with You. Now, let's get on to, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Lifetime. Let's get on to talking about the Chrisleys for a moment. Yeah, it wasn't Hallmark. It was Lifetime for sure. The whole ordeal came up about the Chrisleys. Now, when I was watching the Chrisleys and they moved from Georgia to Tennessee, almost looked like they were trying to follow their daughter, Savannah. That's not the case. I knew that they were in some trouble with the taxes and stuff when they were following their daughter, Savannah, from Georgia. You don't move everything with that big house, fit it the way it was, when it's not about money. Now, what got them in trouble was when they were professing that they didn't do anything and God had them and the light would be shown, etc., etc., etc. The federal government does not mess around. Let me say that first and foremost. The federal government does not mess around whatsoever, period. If they've got evidence, they got you, baby. They got you. And the person that came forward with evidence was someone that worked for them. Now, if you have solid evidence, the federal government's going to work with you. But you better have solid evidence. Where the Chrisleys went wrong was they took no responsibility and projected it on everyone else. Now, I know for a fact, if you've got witnesses or they've got solid evidence, if you don't take any responsibility at all in court, and they've got evidence, and they've got witnesses, they are going, the court and the judge, they're going to slam it to you. They're going to slam it to you. And you will get a very hard sentence. But if you take some modicum of responsibility, they might be willing to work with you. I.e., they might have been willing to stagger the sentence if they had not gotten 7 and 12 years. Let's say they had gotten 3 and 5 years. See what I'm saying? They might have let Todd go first and his wife, Julie, go last and stay with the kids. They might have staggered it that way and they gotten a lesser sentence. But because neither one of them decided to take any responsibility whatsoever and projected it all onto someone else, they got slammed to the wall and got no mercy whatsoever and got both of their sentences at the same time. Because had they done something such as unlived somebody, the courts wouldn't have cared or given them any mercy how, when, where the sentences were done. They are lucky they're going to easy prison, for lack of better. Easy prison. Where they can move around a little more. Where it's not as locked down as other ones are. They're going to easy prison, white collar prison, so to speak. Shay says, I was just so irritated with the whole deal because they shove it down your throat about God, and now I'm not even acknowledging what they've done, and not even acknowledging what they've done wrong. Exactly. Exactly. Owning your mistakes, no. Paranormal Witch says, they knew what they were doing was wrong. They take no responsibility at all. Amen, girl. They did it to themselves, period. I'm going to drop the link in case anybody would like to come up with me because you are more than welcome and I would love to have you. And here's the thing, it's not the kids' fault, but let me say this. Savannah made this statement, how could a loving God allow this to happen? Something to that extent, allow this to happen to her parents without all of the truth coming out. Something to that effect. I am not stating it exactly like she said, but she said, how could a loving God allow this without hope? Something, something, something. Again, I'm not stating it properly, but it did start with how could a loving God. Loving God has nothing to do with it. Look, we have free will as human beings. Free will means we are put here to make choices. We have options. Free will means we can make decisions to behave in any way we choose to. A loving God does not make us make bad decisions. And when you make bad decisions, you have to pay the piper. Now, when all of this was going on, you turn around and you see him on TV saying, we easily spend $300,000 on clothes a month. Who does that? Who goes on there and talks about the excess that you spend on clothes, etc., a month that's, very high end clothing that is not a need but a want? If you know you are in financial hot water to the tune of $30 million to the government. $30 million. $30 million. Let me say that again. To the government. And they might get out paying $7-8 million when they get out of jail. $30 million. And Shay says, I feel sorry for the kids, though. They seem a little blinded. The older kids are not that blinded. I think they wanted to have faith in their parents, but let me tell you this. You want to believe what your parents say, but underlying that, you would have a feeling that they've probably done something wrong, even though you want to believe they haven't. Willow says, their higher power didn't make them do it, they did it on their own. Yes, they did. They did it on their own. If they had said, I made a mistake, I thought it was going to be this way, and I leaned this way, thinking it was the right thing to do, but it wasn't. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. They went so hardcore where people of faith, it's going to come out all right. People have lied on us. No, no, no. They went so hardcore that way with the public. So hardcore that they weren't going to back up. The facts are out there. They could not give in to their pride and ego. I don't know if it will be short for good behavior, but here's the thing. Julie got 7 years and 16 months probation after she gets out. He got 12 years and 16 months probation after he gets out. And I think they're going to have to give up some of their items prior to leaving. I heard someone say as of January 1st they have to go, but I heard as of January 15th they have to enter the jail system. So between now and then, they have to get all of their things in line with the kids. And Savannah is taking Bryson and the little girl. She's going to have custody of the two. 2 mansions. I think I'd be liquidating one of those. I worry about both the kids. And Bryson just got in a wreck. So Savannah's going to be in charge of a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. So by the time Julie gets out, what's the little girl's name? Chloe. Chloe's going to be 17, and Bryson is going to be 23. All that time missed. That is a big burden to carry. Because all the time she could be free and living her own life, unless the other 2 older siblings, well, the actual dad of Chloe, I don't know what's up with that, but unless the other siblings kick in and help take turns. I don't know. But I hope Todd and Julie take the time, take a hard look of what they've actually done to their whole family. And look at Todd's mom. You know, you worry about her health, what this is going to do to her. Will she be around when he gets out? You know, maybe Chase can help share responsibility. That would be good. But man, oh man, look at what they have done. And, you know, Bryson will be a legal adult in a couple of years. But I mean, it really all wraps around Todd and ego. Yes, it was a funny show. Was there a lot of narcissism going on? Was it really wrapped up in money with him trying to preach how he raised them correctly? Maybe he laid down some correct ways of raising them, but it was still so heavily influenced by money. And Todd was the numero uno one that was so heavily wrapped up in ego and money that it was crazy. It's just sickening. He may have been trying to raise them right, but he wasn't walking the talk. Yep, money and power. And Savannah and hey, Rita Donovan, Savannah and her brother Chase were supposed to have they were supposed to have a show going on about them. Yes, we know Todd was supposed to have a dating show, but they were supposed to have a show going on solely about them that I don't know will be continuing here therefore because of what's happened. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Prayers for the kids. They're innocent in this. You know, sometimes you cannot control what the parents do. He's made a lot of money over the years. He probably could have paid what he's done. I just don't know why it wasn't taken care of. Why do a lot of famous people that make a lot of money not pay their taxes and stuff? Who knows? Yeah, I agree with you, Shabby. They will survive. And then there's this whole gambit about Todd having the affair with the accountant that squeaked and told what happened. Do we believe it? Do we not believe it? Does it really matter whether we believe it? No, doesn't really matter. It's their business. Yes, what, Shay? You're saying yes, we believe it. I mean, I believe it. I believe it. It's been a swinging door, but who cares? I don't care. If Julie wants to put up with it, oh, you were shocked? I'm not so shocked. I'm just not so shocked. I mean, he seems like he loves Julie a lot, but look, he appears that way, but I don't care either. I'm just saying, yes, I was shocked. I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. There are so many men that function on the down low. It's just, it is what it is. It's true. Especially in the South. If they grew up at a certain time when it was not acceptable and they couldn't tell their families, they would marry anyway, especially in the South. They'd marry anyway. Or maybe they were could be in love with one but attracted to you get what I'm saying. It just happened. Not that shocked. It just seems like and how many look, let's look at history. Let's look at history. So many women in history would marry kings or rich men that they weren't really attracted to just because they were kings or rich men. They would. Or men of royalty, or men of means. Didn't matter if they were old. Didn't matter if they looked like ogres. They'd find a way to love them in their own way, but it didn't mean they weren't attracted. It's just the way the world's made up sometimes. Yeah, read it on arranged marriages, but sometimes they weren't. Think about gold diggers. You know what I mean? Dun, 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 dun. Ain't nothing but a gold digger. Excuse me. And I'm sorry my energy's low tonight. It just is. I'm lacking all my medication. So this is Dana 2.0. 2.0 low. Yep, Erica Jane. That's a good example. Erica Jane. She says, I wouldn't mind living in a palace. I wouldn't mind living in a palace if I didn't have to clean that palace. If I had to clean that palace, forget it. I had to clean that palace all the time. I wouldn't want to clean that palace all the time. Can you imagine it getting dirty and dusty and all that stuff? Oh, hug Shay B. I love all of y'all so much. I'm so glad to see you again, Mr. Arseny Pesikov. I think about you and yours when I don't see you. And I hope those that celebrate had a lovely Thanksgiving. I hate to say it. I enjoy being with my family on Thanksgiving. I do, I do, I do. The whole cooking and all the Thanksgiving food is just a little much. You know what I mean? It's a little bit much. But I love my family to pieces. And I hope everyone had a nice one. I'm sort of looking forward this year to all the Christmas lights and all of that stuff. I am. Oh, Shay B, Thanksgiving, I don't, maybe there are some men I know kick in, but Thanksgiving is so exhausting to women, I believe, to women all over the place. I fell out. I was cooking and cooking and cooking to take it to my brother's house, and finally at 12:30 that night, I had a small salad and I was so tired, I fell out on my couch like this and woke up a few hours later to go lay in my bed for 2 hours. Yes, it's too much. I'd rather go serve people food that are hungry and have a snack somewhere and see my family. But yes, I'm lacking 2 of my MS medication, so I'm barely making it right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm barely making it. But I had to see my fam on here, and I'm trying to kick up my energy. Yeah, I'm trying to kick up my energy. Coffee doesn't affect me, it makes me more tired. I've tried drinking Coke today to help myself out. Coca-Cola, Coke Zero, and more water. Anyway, Chrisley's, I think you're funny. I liked your show. Oh no, no worries, Shelby. Thank you. Not trying to get pity on here. They did say I had some new buttons on my thing. I'm happy that I'm finally monetized and part of the YouTube partner program. That's great. We're finally up to 1,900, I think, subs now. But I can't see any of the data here. So I'm flying blind. But we're growing. Our channel is growing. I love it. But as far as Todd and Julie Chrisley, I like your show. I thought it was funny. I like your kids. I wish you had have owned up to what you did and shown some integrity. That's really what I would have wished that you have done. That would have made a bigger statement to the whole public, to all of your viewers. That would have made a difference. But because you didn't, they nailed your butts to the wall. My husband goes, well, if it was people in politics, they would have gotten out of that. And I'm like, look, bruh, look, my husband that I love, that is not the point. And I don't want to hear about people in politics because they should have to pay the piper too. The point is, they did not own up to what they did. They did not speak up. They did not humble themselves. They didn't say, look, I did this. I'm sorry. And the judge was like, I don't like that you're pushing the blame on people. So because you're not, I'm going to give you more time to think about it. Bam, bam. And in my opinion, that's what the judge should have done. They're going to try to appeal. Frankly, I don't think it's going to do any good. I think it's just going to show more arrogance. And I hope it doesn't backfire. I hope it doesn't backfire. And unfortunately, I think it casts a little bit of a shadow on the kids. And I just hope the kids just love on their parents and move on with their life and don't try to hold up the things their parents say. Just move on with their life. Yeah, it's not unusual for appeal, I know, but I don't want the Chrisleys to run their mouths more saying, I'm not guilty, and this and this and this and that. You see what I'm saying? They shouldn't go that route. Because if they say all the stuff they're trying to say now, it's not going to look good. So I think they should just be a little more humble when they go with appeal and not start running their traps. I know appeal's not unusual. I just want them not to rev up as they go on with the appeal. But on that note, we can pray for the kids. I would really like people to check out Irene Cara and the movie Freddie Prinze Jr.'s Christmas with You. Let's all get cheesy for Christmas. Let's all watch some cheesy Christmas stuff and get some feel good in our brains. Get some endorphins. Resonate higher. Get some feel good going on. Go see some Christmas lights. Go stand somewhere where there's a lot of Christmas lights going on. Let your body resonate higher. Let everything just feel good on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So everything is resonating higher. You're grounding yourself, standing outside, getting rid of some of this negative stuff in our body that we have just picked up from elsewhere. Make good boundaries for ourselves. Learn to say no to things. Give in people things that have good intention to it, where we're thoughtful. Not go cray-cray on Christmas, right? Just make everything be about the moment. Take good care of ourselves. And just breathe for once. Just breathe. Be of good intentions. Learn to say no. Hang out with people that make us feel good. Let's do that for a change. Hang out with people that make us actually feel good. So when we leave, we're like, ooh, I want to do that again. That would be nice. But anyway, on that note, I'm so happy all of you came by. I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. I will see everybody on Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I want you to do something that makes you feel lifted. Go watch a cheesy movie, have a nice little snack, drink more water, get some rest. And remember, your vibe attracts your tribe. Resonate higher. But on that note, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I will see you next time. So, thank you for hanging out with this kooky kook here on one of my low nights. And I shall see you all next time. Thank you so much, Rita Donovan. Have a good Sunday. Do something really laid back and good for yourself. Till next time, mwah. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Let's hear the ghost song, y'all.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never